Good morning. This is Saturday, January 25th, 2025. I'm here with the results of my 124 bet slip, my parlay picks, if you will. This will be an episode called Philip Biffs It. Did not do well on this one at all. I missed half my picks this time. I made a 10-team parlay. I missed 5 of them, including all 3 of my college games, which is kind of surprising. Usually I'll nail at least one of those. Normally I'm halfway decent on those, and normally I don't hit my professional basketball picks. Normally my NBA picks are 50-50, but I got 2 of the 3 of those, as well as 3 of my 4 hockey picks. This week I started off with the Flyers and the Islanders. I took the Flyers plus 1.5 goals. That did not turn out well for me. The Flyers go up 1-0 early in the game, and then absolutely let the Flyers go up 1-0 early in the game and let the Islanders come back and score 3 unanswered goals, including one halfway through the second period, almost halfway through the second period at 13:56 by Brock Nelson. That made it 3-1 and therefore eliminated the plus 1.5 line because the Islanders won by 2. Oh, that pick was no good. All right, now on to Vegas and Dallas. The Golden Knights versus the Stars. I took Knights plus 1.5. Good for me. I got lucky. I had a Jack Eichel goal at 10:35 in the third period that saved my ass because it was Dallas 4-2. Vegas scored, made it Dallas 4-3, which made my 1.5 goal pick valid. This pick list is already wrong because that initial Flyers pick, but I will roll through all the picks just to make sure that everything is clear. That way I don't be like, well, I missed this one, so screw the rest of the picks. I want to show that there's still a decent amount of picks that I can get correct. Just apparently not this week. Next, I took Blackhawks plus 1.5. This was good because they scored 3 goals between the middle of the first and the end of the second period. That made it 3-1 Chicago. And yes, while Tampa Bay stormed back to make it 4-3 in overtime, I needed the Blackhawks to lose by less than 2 points. That's exactly what happened. They only lost by 1 goal instead. So, good for me. Bad for the Blackhawks, good for me. Next, we move on down to Winnipeg and Utah, playing up in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I took the Jets straight up to win, and good lord did they ever. This was a game I should have taken minus 2 goals, as in minus 1.5 goals, as in I think the Jets are going to win by 2 goals or more. As the final on that game was 5-2. Nick Ehlers had an unassisted goal halfway through the third period that made it +2, and then Cole Perfetti had an empty netter at the end of the game to make it 5-2. So, hindsight, awesome, still won the pick. With that being done, that was 3 of 4 picks correct, 1 wrong. Now we're going to get into the oh god, what was I thinking category. I took Villanova plus 9.5. That was not a good idea. Villanova ends up losing by 13 points on the road at Marquette. If the second half had gone the opposite direction, because both teams got really hot, it was 36-26 at halftime. That is 10 points. And then Marquette still led in the second half, probably because Villanova was doing a lot of hack-a-shack at the end. Marquette won the second half point differential by 3 points. So instead of moving it from 10 downwards, it moved from 10 upwards to 13 total points. Next, VCU and St. Bonaventure. This is one that I need to go back and dive a little deeper into, but it looked like VCU got ungodly hot in the second half. It was 33-25 St. Bonnie at halftime, which would have been good for my St. Bonaventure plus 12.5 points. That's 8 points there, 20 points essentially that I have to play with. VCU scored 50 points in the second half to St. Bonaventure's 28. That's a 22-point swing, which caused a 14-point loss. That's not good. That's horrifically bad. I don't like that at all. That invalidated that pick because I needed them to lose by less than 13 points, and they lost by 14. So, sucks for me. That's where you start looking at halftime spreads and be like, well, do I think that this team could be up or down or whatever? And then you can kind of nail some points that way. Next on the list is Stonehill and Chicago State. Well, I was right that Stonehill would win the game. I believe Stonehill was like minus 400 to win that. And I'm like, no, I want the better odds of minus 110 to nail this pick. So I took Stonehill minus 9.5. And good Lord, was I wrong on that one. That one was a 2-point game by Stonehill. And that they were up 6 points at half. And if they had continued to keep pouring on the points in the second half, that would have been different. But Chicago State made it close at the end with a couple good shots. And they ultimately Stonehill prevailed, but only by 2 points. Not good. Chicago State, you suck. That's 0 for 3 on all my college games this week. Not so good. Normally I don't take spreads all the way through. Normally I take straight up wins and losses. Which, if I had done it right, could have done it. Probably would have made this ticket $500 instead of $12.83. All right, I'm going to start off with the one basketball pick that I missed. I have Portland and Charlotte. Portland ends up winning by 5, which the first half would have said otherwise. First half was 54-50, Charlotte over Portland. And then they gave up 2 more points in the third quarter, and then they gave up 7 more points on the spread in the final quarter. Charlotte, you just imploded. What the hell? Come on, man. So, no spread on that game. It was just straight up Hornets for the win because I didn't want to pick a spread, which probably was a bad thing. I probably should have taken Portland points. But it is what it is. So, that game is done. That's my one loss for my 3 basketball games. I go 2 for 3. Next, I have Philly in an upset of Cleveland, which I knew was possible, which if I had actually done the research, would have said was not possible. Man, that's horrifically bad. I probably would have taken the spread plus 9.5 points. Well, I took the spread anyway. The spread on my ticket said 10.5 points. Philly wins by 3. So, yay, they found a way to pull that stupid crap out and win the damn game. So, good for me. Oh, that's why, because Evan Mobley and Carl Levert were both out. A bunch of other guys were injured. Okay, so I guess it washes. So, yay, I did the right thing. Dumb reasons. And lastly, I took the Grizzlies straight up, even though it was minus 600. Because for some reason, minus 600 on this one and not minus 400 on the other would have been better. I have Memphis by 13 points at home over New Orleans. Probably could have taken the spread, made it look a little nicer on the ticket. But it is what it is. I'm happy that Memphis won. I'm happy that New Orleans lost. There was only a short period in the middle of the game where New Orleans was actually up by 11 points at one time in the third quarter. Wow. Sucks for New Orleans. And then Memphis got hot again. So those are my picks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. Money in $10. Money out 0. So that's my Philip Screwed Up this week corner. I'll be back later with a look at my hockey teams and how things are going to work out for there. And just see how that goes for me. I'll be back next week with another look at baseball picks or baseball teams late in the week, and then I will be back with another betting line either on Saturday or Sunday, depending on which day I can make it out to the casino. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.